Hello, Albuquerque.
In those days, it was 41, so there's a lot of racism.
I'm a Boeing 737 first officer.
I did a lot of research, and I recommend everyone do the same.
And now suddenly you're addicted,
Right.
literally to heroin.
Where were you born? I was born in Cambridge, England.
Both my parents were drug addicts.
Welcome everybody to another episode. I am your host, James Graves Brown, and as always, I'm joined by another special guest today. Put your hands together for my special guest, Eric Archuleta.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for taking the time. Eric is my barber.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Any of you who question, this is where I know this man. I was introduced to Eric by Carlos, actually, a good co-worker friend of mine who actually haven't spoken to in forever, even though I talk to you all the damn time.
I know, right?
I tried to get Carlos to come and do the podcast several times. He's just not interested. He's a busy guy. He talks a lot, but he doesn't want to talk on the pod, which, whatever, to each their own. No judgment. But yeah, thank you again for being here.
And no problem, brother.
So, tell me about being a barber. I'm curious, how does one go about what drove you to want to be a barber? Where did that drive come from?
It's always just kind of been part of my life, to be honest. As a young buck, I was always asking my dad to take me to get a cut, and I would ask him like once a week, and he's like, "Dude, I can't afford to take you once a week." So I said, "Well, do me a solid and get me some clippers." And he's like, "Yep, I'll do that." So I got a set, and I just grabbed when I first moved here from Santa Fe it was like 96, 97. I was like 12 years old, and I got my buddy. I said, "Look, you're gonna cut my hair, you're gonna cut mine, and we're just gonna learn that way." But honestly, it's always been. I feel like it's been just in my blood.
That's interesting. Does it run in your family at all, or?
Yeah. So my mom's uncle in Las Vegas, New Mexico, he was a barber for years, decades, and then I soon found out afterwards that my dad had a distant cousin in Tierra Maria up there by Chama.
Yeah.
That he was a barber too, so it was actually on both sides.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any interaction with those two that steered you towards barbarism?
No. I knew about Uncle Sal, the one in Las Vegas. I knew he was a barber, and then one of his, I think it's his godson, my cousin Steve. He was one of my barbers growing up also, so I knew about him. But the guy in TA, no, I didn't know him at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, so just me and PJ just went at it, dude. We were cutting. It was like once a week, and then once we got like pretty good at doing the fading part.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like almost every day we were cutting each other's hair. Like there wasn't a day that we didn't have a fresh fade.
And did that expand outside of you two after that? Like after you guys got good enough, you started cutting all the other friends' hair?
Yeah. It was actually more me than PJ. He would just cut mine. I would cut my cousin, a couple other buddies. I had a buddy DJ that would just cut his own hair, which was pretty crazy. I tried doing that once, and nah.
Believe it or not, in my old, so we lived in a trailer that we remodeled for. It was my dad's old house, and he kind of abandoned it after my brother passed. So me and Sarah moved in, remodeled it, and moved it up to Tesuque. And anyway, in that house, the bathroom in the back of the house had like a corner mirror. So it had a mirror on the wall in front behind the sink, and then it had a medicine cabinet door that had a mirror on it. So I was able to cut my hair. That's how I learned how to cut my hair. And, it was cool while I was doing just like a straight line around. But And then I learned a little bit of a fade, but it was never a quality haircut. But it was better than the $20 haircuts you get at the
Supercuts and
yeah,
great clips.
yeah.
But yeah, no, so I tried that once. I was in the bathroom for like 3 hours, dude. And it just ended terribly. I was like, never again.
And now you have the long hair.
Yeah, people trip out when they see me now because I always had freshies when I was younger. Now
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, bro. I can't stand it. I swear, like the longest that you've seen my hair is
Yeah.
that shit drives me nuts. I can't stand it. If I could get a haircut every week, I would.
Yeah, I feel it. Not shaving was the best decision I've ever made, man.
You are nuts. Hell no. I don't know how you do it,
I
bro.
love it.
What was the catalyst behind you deciding to switch it up to stop cutting your hair and let it grow out?
Probably dealing with like razor burn, razor bumps, ingrowns, all
Really?
that. Yeah. I would get like underneath here.
Yeah.
I would get it bad, and then I would get it bad on the back of my neck too. But that one's ever since I call it the Jesus juice. It's the sea breeze.
Yeah, the stuff you use on me.
That stuff, man, is like miracle.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It really stops.
I
all that
noticed the
stuff.
difference because
Right.
every time I would get a haircut, I'd get it on the back right here. I'd get all the bumps.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, since you've been cutting my hair, I haven't got that at all.
Right.
So
Yeah, I found out about that in barber school. Actually, I had this big one growing on the back of my neck, and my buddy was like, "Dude, what's the name of that thing on the back of your head?" And I was like, "Chill out, bro." And he was like, "Bro, go put some sea breeze on it." And I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "It's on my station." So I put that on there, and like next day it was like dried up, damn near gone. And I was like, "Whoa, what is that? I need that in my life."
So when did you decide to go to barber school?
I wish I could have gone out. If I could have afforded it, I would have gone straight out of school. Unfortunately, I didn't know about stuff. There's a thing called DVR now that like, if you have some kind of, I don't know what the qualifications are, but I know a bunch of people that have used that program,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually pays for like a trade for you.
Dang.
I know I wish I would have known about that longer, but just when I was about, I think it was like 25 when I finally was able to go. I just have a great family, man, and they hooked me up, dude. So my mom, unfortunately, she had a work injury where she had to like force retire,
Sure.
and she got like a settlement out of that, and so
Okay.
she was just like, here's like half of it, go start.
Damn.
And then she's like, you could put this down, and she's like, I wish I could give you the whole thing. I was like, no, this is great. And so
Yeah, totally.
I was just kind of like, dang, I'm going to have to figure it out, though, because I'm going to have to go to barber schooling. You know, barber school was going to be full-time, 40 hours a week. So then I was basically going to have like a second job to like
Yeah.
cover the other half of it. But before my grandfather died, he called me in he was living with my mom and dad at the time, and he was like, I heard you going to barber school. And I was like, yep. And he's like, how much is it? And I told him it was about $8,000, and I had about half of it. And he was like, well, here, I'm proud of you, here's the other half. And I was like,
shit.
no way.
That's awesome.
So yeah, moms and dad just let me stay with them while I was there. Didn't have to work, and
Yeah, buddy.
I had a great support system behind me.
That's great.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've been cutting for years now. It's been what, like 26, 27 years now.
Do you find that still have a passion, or have you
Yeah.
ever gotten close to burnout on it?
I definitely have burned out before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you do to resolve that?
I just went and found another job. Like, I did a lot of call center work in my younger adulthood, and I just,
She stopped cutting for a while, went and did some other shit, and then decided, hey, I want to go back to cutting.
yeah.
No kidding.
But yeah, it's always been a passion. It's always been like an art form, kind of like a,
Well, and it's cool that you went to barber college. Like a lot of people, oh, I'm a barber, but they never actually went to school to get
Right.
certified for it. And you can tell, I think personally, in the quality of your cuts, the time that you take, the attention you pay to detail.
Right.
It's far superior to
I appreciate that.
even my previous barber. He was good, don't get me wrong. The guy was far better than the supercuts or the $20 haircuts you go and get. He was great, and actually they were really, really cheap. But he didn't go to barber college or anything for it. It was just kind of you before you went to barber college. So
Right. Yeah, just a big thing that I've always kind of taken into barbering is like you're never too old or too experienced to keep learning, man. Like
that's cool.
yeah, I've learned so much from so many different
That's a really
people.
healthy way to approach anything in life, I feel
Yeah,
like. So
for sure.
that's awesome. And you guys have a good base crew over there too. The barbershop's really comfortable, and it's a nice place to hang out, even just to get a buzz up. And you and I were discussing the other day, you had commented to me about how some people, you can be a good barber or be a bad barber and still get a good clientele. Tell me what you...
I just said it doesn't, like, sometimes it doesn't matter how good of a haircut you are, but if you're good at communication and
Yeah,
like if you have good like people skills,
because people will come to you just to
people enjoy that and
come and have a therapy session.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. So because of all that you've accomplished in your life, I find something very unique with you is that you grew up in Santa Fe. I grew up in Santa Fe. We had two completely polar opposite come-ups. Where I had a lot of loss in my life. And don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for... I've said this in several of my podcasts, about how many people I've lost and how much of that side I know, but I don't take it as a negative. It's something that's built me into the person that I am.
Exactly.
And I try to stay positive. But you haven't experienced any of that. When I was discussing with you maybe coming on here, I said, do you have any crazy stories? Have you had any loss? And you're like, no, I lived a pretty good life. And that stuck with me. I was like, lived a good life. That's let's explore that on the podcast
Right.
as the opposite side of all the craziness and the chaos out in the world. Let's see what the good side of everything is. So
I just we grew up, we didn't have really much money. I grew up in a trailer park too, and but yeah, and still do. I just try to make the most out of life, man. I just try to keep positive and
and maybe the fact that you don't have that much loss says something about the kind of people you kept around you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I had a lot of really good friends who passed away, but I wouldn't say anything negative about them. I wasn't keep hanging out with company that was like bringing me down or anything.
Right.
I've always tried to hang out with like-minded, success-driven people, but just freak accidents, drug overdoses.
And stuff like that I wasn't...
Bro, you would not believe the amount of people that after I got out of high school with, we had this really solid crew, probably 20 dudes. And out of those 20, like, I don't know, I'd say 5 are dead, 10 are in jail, and there's maybe 5 of us doing okay.
Yeah.
And that's nuts. That's shit you see in a big city, like, like a Detroit or Chicago or New York. Like, you don't see that in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
But I'm truly curious about the better side of life in Santa Fe. Where did you guys live?
We lived on off of Airport Road. We were...
Cottonwood.
No, we were... the trailer park was called Vallitas. That was the first one. It was by the Allsups right there on Airport Road.
Oh, at the beginning of Airport.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if you're on Cerritos, you go left instead of towards the mall. Because the mall's there on the corner there.
Right.
So yeah, you would go left. And then after that, we moved to Jemez, which is right by Sweeney.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where there was a lot of theft there.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a group of Mexican boys that would steal everybody's crap, dude. Like,
yeah.
One day we were coming home and we saw them, like, some dude was driving Steph's bike with like fringes, and it was like a purple bike, and I'm like, hey Dad, look, that guy's on Steph's bike, and he's like, what the hell? And I'm like, man, I hope his friends kick his ass for stealing a little girl's bike, like driving that around, like. But I've always been into sports.
Okay.
And so I think that's helped me kind of in the right path of, because I have cousins that have done drugs and currently on like meth and crazy shit. But yeah, I'm also thankful that we got out when we did.
Sure.
I was like 10, I think, when we first moved, 10, 11. But yeah, just, I don't know, I just was all into sports, baseball, basketball. I learned golf at a young age, and so
you played all of those through school?
yeah, basketball and baseball, yes, and then I did golf when I got to high school.
Okay, and you moved out of Santa Fe at 10?
Yeah, like 11, 10.
Okay.
It was like 11 because we were, yeah, it was like 96 the summer. I did just turn
Okay.
11, yeah.
So this sort of explains maybe a difference in our come up, because when you were moving out, I was just moving in. I moved into Santa Fe in 6th grade.
Right.
So I was there from 6th grade until 2012, basically 2014.
So that's when a lot of like influences and
Things are different when you're in elementary versus when you're in high school.
middle school and high school, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just that was definitely a huge part of it. Moving to Enchanted Hills when it was brand new. We were like some of the first people to live there. So.
Yeah. Sarah's grandparents were one of the first ones too.
Oh, okay.
In Enchanted Hills. That's
up.
crazy. And I think that it's really crazy that you and I, even though obviously you weren't there when I was there.
Right.
Well, maybe we overlapped by a couple years, but I'm surprised we don't know more people in common.
Right.
But we did end up having somebody in common that we discovered through conversation.
My cousin, huh?
Your cousin, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
he was one of the ones that's on the druggy side, so
that's unfortunate. He was a good dude.
He was a good dude.
A really good dude.
But yeah, so but yeah, no, I think a lot, and I got a real scarce. My parents are still married, so
Yeah, that's
wild, bro.
that is what. How long have they been married?
I think like 40 years.
Nice.
I believe. Yeah.
Bravo.
Right.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Really cool.
Something you don't see nowadays either.
Nah.
Now let's fast forward a little bit. You and your wife don't seem like people who would cross paths at all in life.
Right.
Tell me about her background first of all, and then how you guys met and whatnot.
So she grew up. She was adopted, and then she grew up kind of. Her parents are military, so she was kind of all over the place.
Sure.
I think they started in Cali, and then they went like from Arizona to like South Carolina.
Okay.
To like Riley, I think that's in South Carolina, and then they moved back, I think, to Arizona, and then they went to Hawaii. So that's where Hawaii is where she grew up. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, and she ended up here because she was trying to go to nursing school, and UNM has like top notch nursing program.
Sure.
But it's real hard to get in, so she just started working. It was called Alliance Data. That's where we met.
Okay.
Call center job, like I'd
No
said
kidding.
earlier.
So you guys met here.
Yeah, and what was kind of crazy is that that's actually at the time when I burned out, actually.
Oh.
So, of barbering. So I had, I was kind of burning out already, but I also had gotten kidney stones. And as a barber, you don't have a health plan. You don't have benefits.
It's like being a waiter.
Exactly. And so I needed to go to the doctor, and I was just like, well, let me go, since I have tons of call center experience, let me just get in here and get some insurance, and then we'll figure it out from there. And so yeah, Alliance Data was like the booming call center at the time, so I got in there. And so when I was in training, like, you're in the classroom for so long, and then like for 2 weeks or whatever you're on the phones, but in like a controlled like environment, like where your trainer's like right there in case you run into an issue. She's just right there, you know. So,
right.
They had actually stuck me on the side of me and Asha, like we're right next to each other, and we laugh about this till today. I had a question and my trainer was gone, so I got off the phone and I was standing in front of Asha's desk, and she's just like talking, and then she's like looking at me while she's talking. So I'm like trying to ask her a question, and then she like mutes her phone, and she's like, "I'm on a call," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I'm kind of freaking out. Like I don't know the answer to this," and so she helped me out, and it was just kind of funny. But yeah, and after that we just started talking a lot and hanging out every day, and that's just how it kind of came to be, and we became best friends. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
And how long did you guys date before you popped the question?
So I just kind of wanted to be, everyone says, oh, you should be friends with whoever you date first, but nobody does that shit. Like,
Yeah.
you fake a front for 4 months, and then like down the road, 3-4 months, you find out who you're really dating, and you're like, damn, this is some bullshit.
What should I do?
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, hey, let's just become friends first. And so we literally hung out every single day for an entire year, like as friends. Yeah, nothing ever really, like, we were just homies. And then I was like, I had a buddy of mine ask me if I wanted to move out to Denver. And I just kind of wanted to like go see something else. All I knew was New Mexico, So I went up to her and I was like, hey, I just put in a transfer to Denver. You should do the same. And she just looked at me like, the fuck? Okay. And so then she did, and they didn't approve her for some reason. She was a way better employee than me.
That's why. They didn't want her to fucking leave.
Right. And so, yeah, that must have been it. And so then they told me that, yeah, I could go.
Yeah, we don't need you.
Yeah, go on. And, but then she was real upset that they told her no. So she just like put her 2 weeks in. And her boss was like, well, let me try again. And I said, see, that's bullshit. Like, if there's a try again, they could have done it in the first place. But yeah, so she put in her 2 weeks, and that was that. They were like kind of upset that she was leaving, but yeah, no. So she was just like, I'm outie. And yeah, she ended up quitting. And so yeah, so the wife put her 2 weeks in, and we went on our way, and she was like, you know what, screw it, let's go. And she agreed to go move with me. I've never even been to Denver once, and
nice.
Just decided to go up there with me. And but yeah, that's we lived there for about 4 years, but hated it.
Yeah.
Came back home.
Why so?
The people they're not very welcoming. Like
territorial?
Yeah, they're just like, so the reason I found out is that they're so like bitter towards new people there is because, like, before the crazy rise in like living here,
yeah,
Denver was the same way. It was real affordable, but when weed got legal up there, they got a sea of people moving from everywhere.
That makes sense.
Everything went through the roof, bro. Like, we were struggling out there, bro. And I was in a 600 square foot tiny ass apartment. We were paying $14.50 a month.
Holy shit, dude! Was it New York?
It was terrible, and we weren't even in Denver, bro. We were like 30 minutes north.
Jeez.
And it wasn't nowhere nice. Like, heard gunshots a lot, heard sirens every day, and like, I had another buddy move up there, and he's like, nah, don't go back to New Mexico, bro. Like, there's so much to do here. I said, bro, I can't even afford to wipe my ass here, let alone go do cool shit that the city offers, Like, the best thing we could do was, like, because good thing the Rockies sucked, because, dude, I shit you not, like, day of, like, right before the game started, you could find tickets for $2, bro.
Oh, shit.
Like, yeah, I could afford $2.
So you went to a lot of Rockies games?
We went to a lot of Rockies games.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there's just tons to do there. Like, I love the city, don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah.
As far as a vacation spot, it's a dope. The only thing I kind of really miss is, like, driving on the highways and seeing that skyline, man. That skyline was really dope to see.
Yeah.
We don't got shit like that here.
I'm a big city boy, so I feel that.
Yeah.
That hits with me.
Yeah.
So how long were you guys up there before you?
Moved back?
Actually, real quick, let's backtrack a second. You never got around to when you actually proposed.
Oh yeah, so we had gone to before we moved. We went to I wanted to show Asha Red River. My grandparents lived there for about 20 years.
Okay.
So Red River has like this huge piece of my heart.
Sure.
And if you've never gone, like, you need to go see.
The one
Red
and only
River.
time I've ever been snowboarding or skiing was up in Red River.
Yeah,
So
it's gorgeous up there, man.
it's a cool place.
The summertime is super cool. Like, you can still ride those ski lifts, and
Yeah.
it's so dope. But yeah, so it was like I think it was summertime. It was maybe like springtime, and I was like, I better ask her to be my girl if she's gonna move up with me. So
It's probably a good idea.
she was even like, hurry up and ask me to be your girlfriend. She even said, like, while I had already like planned this thing out.
Yeah.
And then she said that while we were on the lift. And so yeah, it was just kind of funny, but yeah, that's how it happened. And then it was funny too, because when that year we were just like hanging out as friends at the call center here.
Yeah.
We had like this work mom lady. Her name was Laura, and she used to always tell me, Eric, I swear you better marry her. You better marry her. She would always tell me, like, she's the one. And yeah, it just kind of was funny the way it worked out. And so we came home one time. I think we were there for like 2 years, maybe a year and a half.
That's how long you lived there in Denver?
No, we were there for 3.5 years, I believe.
Okay.
But like halfway through, we had came back home.
Oh, to go to Red River.
No, it was just to come back, just to visit everybody.
Okay.
And I had bought a ring, and I got like my cousins and my mom and my dad and my sister. And
Dang, you did it in front of everybody.
yeah, we went to Bravo, and I did it in front. I had to embarrass her, so
Good man.
it was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It was real cool. And then it was kind of funny too, growing up. Like, I just, a lot of people do the Vegas thing, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I want like a big wedding. But we actually did the Vegas thing, and we had a fucking blast, dude.
Sarah and I wanted to do the Vegas thing, and we
Yeah.
kind of got talked out of it.
It was cool.
It was. We wish we would have ended up doing the Vegas thing. We kind of screwed up not doing it, but that's another story for another podcast.
Yeah, we saved a lot of money.
Yeah,
doing
I
that.
bet. So, tell me about when you got back after Denver. What did you guys? Is that when you got back into barbering?
Well, no, actually, so not long after the call center transfer,
Yeah.
I was there for maybe 6 months, and I lost that job quick. The same thing with every call center I've had. It drives me nuts. Like, I feel like a damn dog on a leash because you're just tethered to that phone all day.
Sure.
And so,
Monotony.
yeah,
At its finest.
Yeah, after a while, I'm just like calling in a lot. So you just can only build up so many like occurrences, and
So did you quit that, or did
they
they
fired me.
canned you?
They're like, enough, bud.
So after that, what did you do? Did you pick up barbering back in Colorado?
Yeah. So
okay.
when Asha got this real good job out there, and so she made friends, and we went to a Broncos game with one of her friends, and she had other friends that like met us there, and so I don't remember what happened, but we didn't have a vehicle, and the friend was like, hey, y'all need a ride? And we were like, yeah, actually we didn't drive, so that'd be great. So her friend's boyfriend, his son picked us up, and he had a clean ass taper, and I was like, yo, like, who cut your hair, bro? And the dude was like, I did. And I was like, oh, you're a barber? And he goes, yeah, fuck yeah. And I was like, bro, what's good? Like,
Yeah.
I need a barber. Like, that was one weird thing. Like, I thought big city, huge barber names. Like, I just thought, like, barbers wouldn't be a dime a dozen. I was like, fuck no, them dudes cannot. I had so much trouble finding a barber out there, bro.
You are a barber.
I know. And I was just like, it was crazy, dude. And so, yeah, I was just like, because when you change cities or states, you have to transfer your license.
Oh, it's a licensed thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's a big old pain in the ass.
Oh, wow. That's nuts.
And it takes a long time. So I told him, I said, look, I'm licensed, but I'm not licensed here. I said, do you know anyone that would let me cut while I'm licensed while the whole process happens? And he goes, actually, I do. And so that's just kind of how I got back into it. And like I said, when I said earlier, like I've always learned from other people.
Yeah.
I learned tons from this cat, like, and this other girl that were cutting up there with me. And that's actually when I started doing the design stuff, because I used to like stay away from that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Like you said, I take my time. I don't rush through haircuts. I give the same amount of attention to the next.
And as a customer, that's what you're paying for. You're
Right.
paying for the time and attention.
Right.
So you don't want somebody who's going to rush through and just get to
Yeah.
the next one.
Exactly, and that's the thing that I've always had a problem with. Like,
Fair.
I had a barber here that would do my haircut in like 15 minutes, and I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
bro, what?
No, no, no. We don't do that shit
Yeah.
around here. We keep it gangster.
Exactly.
We get our
And
fade
so-
on.
right? And so, but yeah, just because of how long I did take, it's hard enough for a kid to stay sitting through a normal haircut,
Sure.
let alone extra time for a fucking design and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you hit the parents with the price, and they're like, what? And I'm like, here, you put the fucking star or whatever the fuck your kid wanted. When I was first learning, there was this one little white kid comes in, and the mom's like, can you do designs? And I was like, depends. And she's like, what does that mean? I was like, just depends on what your kid wants. And she looks at him and she's like, what do you want? He's all, a shark. And I was like, what? No, I'm not doing a shark, bro. Yeah, and then so she like finds this shark picture. It's like this detailed ass picture, and I'm like, no, lady.
This is hair.
Yeah,
This is not paint
I'm
and
like, I'm not
canvas.
doing that shit. And so then I just started slowly doing like little zigs and zags, and just, yeah, that's actually what I like to do now.
How popular is that now?
It's not as popular. There's still some kids that like that. It's kind of funny now. They, like, two of the barbers over there, if they get a design, they're all, hey, Eric, can you help me real quick? So I'm like, yeah, just kick me down whatever
Nice.
extra you charge. And but yeah, it's just I feel like I went from a really good barber to like an excellent barber from just starting back up in Denver.
Cool.
And I've learned doing the designs, and I even went to like a seminar class, and it was really cool. That was real cool. That was up in Denver. I met this cat from Colorado Springs. He was really helpful, and like, if the barber game could take over the city, bro, but here in Albuquerque, it's all hate, bro. They just hate on each other. It's weird to me.
Competition. Territorial.
It's weird to me, bro. It's so weird to me.
Nobody
But-
trying to see anybody else succeed.
Exactly, and it's
That's
terrible.
unfortunate.
It's terrible, bro. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's weird. A lot of bad mouthing.
Okay, so let's change topic a little bit, and I want to talk about Dink Life, because I didn't know what that was until you mentioned it to me in the chair one time, and I was like, Dink Life, that sounds like some Down syndrome stuff. What do you mean? So Dink Life, for the listener out there, is dual income, no kids, and Eric and Asha and me and Sarah are all dinkwads.
Yep.
Dual income, no kids,
Yep. Double
With-
income, no kids.
with all the dogs.
With all these perros.
So the Dink Life is fantastic, and I highly recommend everybody take that route, whether it be your choice or your partner's choice.
For sure.
It makes life a lot easier. I personally enjoy my toys and my money and the prospect of travel.
Right.
Now, the dogs being our kids, so to speak, makes that a little more challenging.
For sure.
But we're still able to do stuff, and yeah, I
For sure.
Dink Life is an interesting concept.
It's good.
I will say that when I was younger and my friends were all having kids, I was in the kid mindset, and I was like, yeah, let's do some kids. And then the more Sarah and I discussed it and I thought about it, I was like, I only wanted to have kids because my friends were having kids.
Right.
Like, I really don't have the patience for kids, and I wouldn't be a good parent, so to speak. So I'm kind of glad I we kept the dink route.
Yeah, I wanted kids at first. Like, that's kind of what you think you want when you're young. But
Yeah.
as I got older, I'm like, nah.
Well, and also that's very societal thing.
Yeah.
Society says you have to
Create a family.
American dream, get the house, get the kids, and do all that. But I think society's swayed a lot in modern times, and there's a lot more people not having kids, which is very interesting to see what's happening with the country. But then
I was gonna say, especially with what's going on in today, it's crazy.
You go to the other side of that spectrum, and the people who are having kids are having ass loads of kids.
Way too many.
That's cool, man. Good. It all balances out.
Like if you have nieces and nephews, that's kind of what like if I wanted the kid thing, I can have them over for a while, but then I can give them back.
Yeah, you're done with them, you send them home. I get that, and yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so dink life. I want to talk to you about golf.
Yeah.
You're very active and an avid golf player.
Yeah, I love it.
I know you mentioned earlier in our conversation that you got into it in high school. Is that correct?
Actually, I was like 8 when I started golfing.
No kidding.
Yeah, my dad would get all like his old crappy clubs, and he would cut them down.
Oh wow!
And then he would even regrip them for me, so they were like micro for like my size. It was great.
And it actually stuck with you.
So I wish I would have got like deep into it right away.
Yeah.
But it's expensive sport, so
that's true.
So yeah, I had like one lesson when I was like probably 10, 11, and then like high school's when I kind of dove in pretty good.
And you're still playing, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and on the regular basis too.
Yeah, I tried there for a while. I was trying to go at least once a week, but like I said, it's pretty expensive.
It is an expensive sport.
It's a great release in life. Kind of just everything kind of goes away for those 3-4 hours that you're out there.
It definitely takes a skill that I don't fucking have. I can't.
It's definitely the hardest sport that I've ever...
Dude, I'm going to tell you, the one time I went and actually tried golfing, I got through maybe 6 or 7 holes, and then I was like more interested in drinking and driving the golf carts around. Totally lost interest in the game.
That's what the wife, she's my little caddy. She'll be just driving me around.
That's what's
she's
up.
my designated drinking driver.
But on that note, we do disc golf every once in a while.
That's great.
So
that's
yeah,
really fun too, man.
I'm a fucking disc golf nerd.
It's fun.
It really is fun, and I like that it's a free sport other than buying your discs.
Right.
And you get roughly the same amount of exercise, but you don't have to lug around a
big old bag.
Big old bag of
metal.
Yeah. You already have your clubs in hand, and you launch those bitches. So
yeah, disc golf is fun.
Yeah,
and it's cool that they kept the like rules the exact same. Like,
yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah,
and then you can play variants on those rules and to suit the game, which is really cool too. So yeah, disc golf, give it a try.
Yeah, definitely. There's some really cool. There were some really cool courses that I played in Colorado. There was some.
Oh yeah,
courses out there.
I've been seeing them on UDisc.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Back to the Colorado on that tip, we are big in travel, or trying to be big in travel. Like we've taken one big trip, but we've traveled the states pretty good.
Yes, sir.
You yourself, or you and your wife are active travelers?
Yeah, we haven't been. We've done a little bit. We haven't done nothing major as far as like the Egypt stuff that you and Sarah did. That definitely is gonna come soon. Well, probably later, but not sooner than later.
It'll happen.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to like check out Japan one of these days.
So do I, dude. I want to go to Japan.
But we've done Puerto Rico. That was crazy.
Tell me about that.
That was nutty. It's really pretty, but then it's really like ugly and sad at the same time. Like some parts look like Tijuana and Juarez, but then like you turn around and it's like paradise. Like it's weird, dude. And so We actually went for a wedding, and it was in a really, really pretty area called Isabela. And on the way there, you just have to drive through slums, dude. So everyone's like, "What was that like?" I'm like, "It's like every emotion at one time. Like you're like like it was just, and it was right after the hurricane too, so we saw a lot of destruction and a lot of sad stuff. But man, it's a pretty little island. Sucked because it's real windy there.
Oh, really?
Really windy there. Like on the beaches, like even on the videos that I have on my phone, like all you hear is just the wind the whole time.
You don't think that was the time of year?
Nah, because I've talked to people that live there.
It's
and
like steady windy there.
A lot of the time it's a lot.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Is that your only international? I know it's not technically international, but that your only international travel? You guys.
We went to Hawaii.
Hawaii, I was gonna say, yeah. So that's not really considered international either,
Right.
though I do consider it out of the States.
It was long. That one was longer. So to Puerto Rico, it was like 4 hours from here to Florida, and then like another, I think 3 to 4 from like Miami to Puerto Rico. But from freaking Arizona to Hawaii was like fucking 7 hours, bro. I was like, holy shit, this is long.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But it's weird too because you jump like 4 hours in the time. It's weird.
Yeah, I know about weird time jumps.
Yeah, it was weird. But Hawaii was so dope. That's where my wife's from, but she can't do the humidity thing very long. So we actually went in January, and it was perfect.
Oh, nice.
Actually, absolutely perfect.
I
fell in love with it over there.
What is it regular? Is it like stupid humid there?
Yeah, it's pretty hot, I guess, so I guess it doesn't get like 100 degrees, but the humidity gets pretty
up there.
Pretty up there in the summertime.
Interesting.
I actually played golf there, and that was really dope. That was one of the nicest, most expensive courses I've ever played.
You did a pretty expensive one in California too, didn't you?
Yeah, I played a pro course in Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs is dope too. Hotter than shit there, bro.
Oh, that's California though.
The day we left, it was 119 degrees.
Hell yeah, that's my type of weather.
I hate it.
Love it.
I hate it. I'm like, put me in the tundra, bro. I like the cold.
Nope. Fuck a tundra. I'll fucking put me in the Sahara. I'm good.
That's funny.
Yeah, the crazy time warp you talked about was, you should have seen the Egypt one, man. Like we left LA and it was 7 o'clock at night. We showed up, it was like 2 days later at midnight. Fucking.
That's weird.
And then coming back, we left like Friday morning and we got back Friday night. It was fucking weird.
You like time traveled for real.
Yeah, fucking crazy how that all works.
How was that, like jet lag? Was that pretty?
No, I don't know. Sarah had these anti-jet lag pills, and I can't say whether they helped or not, but what did help, and we did an episode on the podcast with our recommendations, but a big recommendation was not skimping on business class. It's a really big expense, and people are like, I'm not going to waste the money to fly.
It's worth it, bro.
It is so worth it, because you can actually get to sleep. You lay down on a fucking flat bed, cover up with your blanket, got a movie playing in the background, noise-canceling headphones, you just go to sleep.
Dope.
Super comfortable. So even me, who can't sleep on a plane ever because I'm fucking such an av geek, like I'm so nerding out about the whole process of everything that's happening, that I was actually able to crash out for a few hours. So
yeah, we did first class, I think, like when we did the Hawaii flight.
Yeah.
And even that, like, it's a lot different for sure.
It's but so different. Like we had first class in the States flying to Egypt, but domestic first class is nothing compared to international first class on those big planes. It's like having your own little apartment. You know, it's like a little bit bigger than this chair area, but it's your own space. You got walls on all sides of you, and it's a whole. I've never
been on like a huge plane, like the ones that have like the middle rows. I've never.
It was fucking cool. It was way cool.
I bet.
I mean, I obviously geeked out, but I think even Sarah was like, "Yeah, this is pretty cool."
Yeah, I bet that's dope.
And like it was really weird because we got on the plane and they have like coat check service and shit. Like you had hangers hanging there. I'm like, what the fuck is this hanger for? I don't got anything to hang. And
Y'all take your shirt off.
they came and they're like, oh yeah, here, here's my
cool.
sweater.
That's dope.
But yeah, it's a whole nother world. Definitely worth the extra money, especially for being in the air for 11 plus hours. You know, it makes
Was
a
that
big
your
difference.
longest flight?
Oh yeah, and dude, they fucking from LA to Paris was 10 and a half hours, something like that, and you get 2 full meals, and it's not just like a little fucking
Snack.
tray of
Yeah.
food. It's like a multi-course meal, and then they're like fromage, bringing you trays of cheese and shit, and you're like, I can't fucking eat another bite. I'm gonna throw up. Stop.
That's dope.
Like you have to tell them to stop bringing you food, and then you wake up in the middle of your slumber or whatever, and they're like, "Do you need anything? You want some snacks?" No, get the fuck away from me. I'm so full.
That's tight though. Shit.
Oh, it is. It was way cool, and it was delicious food too. Really,
cool.
really good. Like I was looking forward to it just being, people talk a lot of shit about airplane food, and I don't know. That was the only time I've ever eaten a meal on a plane, and every meal I had was fucking good.
Yeah.
Even for vegetarian options, they're fucking fantastic, man.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's real dope.
So you and I have lots of interesting conversations about music, and I wanna talk some music.
Let's do it.
So tell me, let's start with, because I know this is gonna kick our conversation off real good, but let's start with your top 5.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, shit just got real.
Let's see. Like any genre?
Yeah, top 5 musicians.
Huge Linkin Park fan. I actually got to see them before Chester died.
That's fucking dope.
It was dope, dude.
That's cool, man.
Old Kanye, not new Kanye. I can't do new Kanye, bro. But I'm like huge on like when I was a kid, like everyone was like Biggie, Tupac, and I'm like, nah. I was listening to Bone Thugs. I was a big Bone Thugs fan. And then I really like a lot of like Snoop and like Warren G. That whole Dog Pound, that shit was my shit too.
Sure.
Now music, and that like I'm not huge on any of this like newer hip hop stuff, but Joyner Lucas is fucking dope, dude.
Bro, there's a couple of them that are fucking dope.
Ritz too, big Ritz fan.
Joyner, Ritz, and fucking J. Cole are probably
J. Cole,
3 of
for sure.
my favorites of modern day.
For sure. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick just like a top 5. Like I'm just.
But you have to. Everybody has to have.
I'm
top
like
5.
all over, bro. Like I do country, I do rock, I do it all, bro.
I'm not one to judge. I do all of that shit myself. Country the least, but I do fuck with some '90s tracks.
Yeah.
But talking about your list, Linkin Park, I fuck with.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That shit was dope.
Kanye, never have, never will. No, I do.
Huge old Kanye fan, bro.
I mean, the what is it? College Dropout? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that album was cool. I'll fuck with that. But after that, I was like, meh. I don't know. I think a lot of that.
Like after the, what is it? My Twisted Dark Fantasy, or it's called something like that. After that one, that's when he got like real on the weird shit.
Bro, he's so weird.
Yeah, he's super weird.
On your Bone Thugs comment, I fucking grew up on Bone Thugs. I absolutely love Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
Have every album they ever put out. I still have them on CD.
Yeah,
All of them.
That was the first CD I ever bought with my money.
Nice.
Was the Art of War double disc.
That one was dope.
That was my favorite one, bro.
The first one I ever bought was probably Eazy-E.
Oh, nice.
It's 1999. Or It's On 1999. The one,
That's dope.
the Dre disc album. But I was a big Bone fan, but I was also fucking with Biggie and Pac, both of them. I'm a bigger Pac fan than Bone, but I mean than Biggie. I'm sorry,
Biggie,
but Biggie was fucking dope, and you got to give it to Bone Thugs because here's a little fact for you, a little tidbit. Bone Thugs is the only band that did songs with
Both.
Eazy-E, Biggie, and Tupac while they were alive.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fucking dope.
On that Art of War, I think Pac and Biggie are on both of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're each on a song.
Bone Thugs does regular concerts in Santa Fe. Did you know that?
Yeah, they're always here. I did.
Yeah,
know that.
my a good friend of mine he's always there like escort,
tight.
takes him around and whatnot.
Yeah, as big as the Bone Thugs, I've never seen him live, and I've seen tons of concerts.
I saw them at Sunshine.
Oh, okay.
They're fucking awesome.
You know who's really good in concert too is I think he's just a good like all around is, and people don't give him credit. Is Tech Nine, bro?
Fucking Tech's dope.
He's dope.
He's so
bro.
good, dude. Like I think Ritz is better, but
Oh well, yeah.
Tech's fucking. He kind
Tech's
of
been in the game, bro.
and to that note, Twist is my OG.
Oh yeah, Twista.
Fucking
For sure.
Twisted was started that gangster shit for me.
For sure.
Of course, I've always been into Dre and the whole West Coast movement. That kind of sucked me in really hard when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Listening to The Chronic, and then Snoop came along, and it was just toppled down from there. But
We saw Snoop in Denver for a 420 show,
yeah,
and Asha she kept like looking at me like, and I'm like, what do you keep looking at me? She goes, I can't believe you know every single fucking song that's came on like word for word, and I was like, this was my shit, yo.
yeah.
Like this was my shit.
I saw Snoop at the convention center downtown.
Oh, okay.
And it was cool. That dude had the biggest blunt I've ever seen in my life. The shit was like, it came out like a foot and then dropped and hung like a foot. And he's just smoking this shit, walking around. And I'm like, how is that not falling apart? The thing was so long. I met Corrupt.
Oh, cool.
He shook my hand at that concert. He was cool. Yeah. But I think that, okay, so some person that we hadn't spoken of yet, but is huge, is M.
Mm-hmm.
What's your
I love him, bro.
M is the GOAT.
Yeah, he
M
is.
M is probably,
He sure is.
he's definitely in my top 5. I don't know if, I don't know, he might be number 1. He's just so fucking intelligent, and
nuts.
I appreciate that so much.
The shit that comes out of his mouth is crazy.
Bro, the shit that comes out of his mind, how do you even think of that? Like triple entendres?
That's how I feel about Lil Wayne too.
Oh, Wayne's dope too.
Wayne's crazy.
Wayne was underrated for me for a long time. I didn't get it.
See, and I wasn't huge when he was young,
Me neither.
but later on,
Bro, he's come a long way, and he's one of the better ones now.
The
But
Weeknd is also in my top.
The Weeknd,
I fucking love The Weeknd.
can't do it.
I took Nico to see him in Denver, and that show was, dude. He had a stage it was at Denver Stadium.
Yeah,
It was 100 yards. It was from end zone to end zone. His fucking stage, bro. And to see 70, like it was like 73,000 people there.
yeah,
Like there was 70-some thousand people as was over last year, but you're not looking at that crowd.
Yeah.
They're all behind you.
right.
When you're, oh, holy shit, dude. That energy and that Weekend concert was nuts, dude.
Okay.
He
I mean,
had
to
this
each their own.
he had this huge, he had a moon, bro. Like the moon came out of the ground and was just floating there. It was nuts.
Have you ever seen the 2001 Chronic Tour concert?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite of all time,
Yeah.
I think. That show was so fucking good. Exhibit and Dre, Snoop, M. That's a hell of a concert.
Busta was there, I think, too, wasn't he?
No,
No?
that would have been awesome, but no.
I thought he came here with them, I think, but I think it was back then, too.
Busta's an OG too.
Busta's
We got to
dope,
give
too.
Busta
Yeah.
his love too. There's a lot of underrated smaller rappers now too that modern day that I don't think are even heard of. But have you ever heard of Futuristic?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah.
And Analyst. Analyst is fucking fire.
Yeah.
So I'm really into faster rap, which is kind of what shied me away from mumble.
I hate mumble.
Can't fucking do the mumbles, dude. Like, I get it that to each their own, younger generations, that's what they like. They just like to hear melody or whatever, but I can't fucking do it.
Like I said, I don't really fuck with too many of the new ones. At first I was kind of like, nah, but what's their name? Suicide Boys, bro. You haven't heard them?
No.
Bro, they rap kind of like, that dude kind of sounds like Busy Bone, bro.
Okay.
Even this other one, they're kind of like hip hop mixed with like goth. They're called Ghost Main. Have you heard of them?
Nope.
Bro, I'll show you some Ghost Main, dude. That guy sounds just like Busy Bone. It's nuts, dude.
That's cool.
His flow is so sick. And then it's weird because he looks like, I don't know, he looks like what's her name from Beetlejuice, bro? Like the daughter. He looks like,
Oh, like Lydia?
like Lydia, bro. He looks like Lydia, but he raps like Bone, dude. It's so sick, dude.
That's cool.
Dude, Ghostman is, yeah, they're sick, bro.
I think that for me, Ritz is probably my most underrated artist.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't get the props that he deserves. That guy is fucking phenomenal because he raps with substance but still double timing and yeah, he's like a younger Eminem. He's well on his way to being that.
Yeah, bro.
So yeah, CNT. Now, on the Linkin Park tip, I very much fuck with alternative, grunge, metal, all that kind of shit. So let's talk those genres. Who do you like as far as maybe an alternative goes?
I don't listen to him too much now. I was big into Avenged Sevenfold. I saw them live.
Nice.
That concert was sick too. But yeah, Linkin Park. I'm a huge Bullet for My Valentine fan, bro.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love them,
that
dude.
shit is so hard.
Yeah. Godsmack, they're really good.
Yep.
I saw them live too recently. That show was fucking sick too, bro.
I got burnt out on them because of so much shit, but I'll
Yeah,
still listen to it. Like
feel
there's
it.
still classic.
I feel it. Who else? I'm getting into some of the newer stuff too. There's a concert coming this year that's I Prevail. They're dope, dude. And Hollywood Undead. Those guys are coming together. I want to go to that bad. I saw Tool like when I was like 22 years old, and I never was into that music.
Yeah.
Like, well, their music. I won tickets, and I went, and the visuals that they put on, it's kind of weird. I don't know if you know about this about Tool, but the dude doesn't like to be in the spotlight. Did you know that?
There's many bands like that. Do you know who Death Clock is?
I've never heard of Def Clock.
Bro, they're fucking badass,
Yeah.
but it's one guy.
Oh, cool.
He's the entire band, and
Okay.
at his concerts, he'll just hire a drummer and a bassist.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he plays cartoons. So it's very much like Gorillaz.
Oh, okay, tight.
But
Bro, they're genius, bro. If Gorillaz was walking down the street, I would know who the fuck they were.
exactly.
They're genius, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that band, bro.
So
Tool, like, I don't know, like I said, the visuals were cool. That was the longest concert of my fucking life, bro. Like, their songs are like 13 minutes and shit.
that's funny.
But yeah, he's like by the drummer in the back, like in the dark. Like he doesn't like to be. It's weird. It was a cool show, but nah, not a big fan of them. Who else in rock? Oh, I saw Slipknot. That was.
Slipknot's awesome.
They're good, but I didn't like the live version.
No?
Yeah, like the music was so loud that you couldn't really hear, dude.
Oh, okay.
It was just not what the hype was. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in that one. Disturbed.
David Draymond's fucking amazing.
I'm a big fan of them, and when I saw them, they were trash, bro.
Really?
And then I found out, like, a week after they came to Albuquerque, when I saw them, they, like, split up. And I was like, oh, no wonder they suck. Like, homie was over it. Like, they were beefing and shit. Like,
I see.
I was so mad.
Bro.
It was cool, like, when they sang 10,000 Fists in the Air.
Yeah.
Like, to look back and just see all those, it was fucking sick,
awesome.
dude, yeah.
Dude, The Sound of Silence, his cover, oh my god.
Asha hates that song, bro.
That shit gives me chills.
Yeah, Asha cannot stand that song, bro.
His voice is so insane. That guy is
dope.
fucking amazing.
It's dope.
Yeah, dude. It's like, and I, because I like the song, I went back and downloaded the Simon Garfunkel version.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool, but it's not.
It's different.
It doesn't have the power that his voice has, and you're just like, oh, wow.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking intense.
He killed that shit.
Yeah. So, the reason I brought the music up and whatnot is I wanted to sort of give an example of how our conversations are swayed when I'm in the chair and you're back there cutting hair. And this is very much what it's like. But it goes much deeper than that too, because problems, people's personal problems come out, and it's a confidential space. It's very much a therapy session.
Therapy session, yeah.
And like you said, I think people appreciate and pay for that more so than the haircut.
The haircut itself, yeah.
But don't let that sway people away from your services, because you're a fucking phenom.
I appreciate that.
No, really, it's great conversation, and it's incredible quality haircut. So, yeah, if you need to get a haircut, go mosey on down to Showtime Barbershop and see Eric.
Yes, sir. We're down on like Coors and Fortuna, down there by West Mesa High School, man.
West Mesa.
Yeah, my IG is Barber_E. You can shoot me a follow. I'll follow back.
Good.
Another real quick back on the music scene. Me and Ash got real big into 21 Pilots, and my buddy, he's the one that showed me, my best friend PJ, the one that me and him learned how to cut on each other.
Yes.
And bro, it's just a 2-man band. Bro, they turned Red Rocks upside down, bro.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, I couldn't believe it, dude. Like, I'm getting chills now thinking of that night. That night was unreal, for real.
Oh, you know what? I totally forgot something that reminded me of. I wanted to talk to you about, I guess, self-discipline.
Okay.
Because so listen, man, when I was younger, weed was my life.
Yep.
And I didn't give a fuck about the future, and if it didn't have weed in it, I had no interest.
I was the same.
And then money got tight.
Yep.
Money got real tight, and my attitude changed faster than ever, and I thought, you know what? I can smoke weed when I'm old and retired. So my thing became, I'm going to quit smoking weed and get a good job.
Yep.
Well, recently you've had sort of a similar...
Absolute mirrored. Money is tight, my boy.
Yeah. So I just want to commend you for how quickly you stopped and just kind of were over it when it enveloped your life prior.
20 years, bro, straight.
Well, okay, but it's not even that. Listen, man, when I was smoking all day, every day.
That's what I did too.
I had a friend, a really good friend, who gave me a really incredible deal. So I was getting pounds of weed at a time, selling off a couple ounces, and I'd have, basically 3 QPs to smoke with people. So I'd have people over all day and we'd smoke.
All day.
My boss, as a delivery driver, knew that I smoked. He didn't give a fuck. So I was smoking in the van, delivering packages.
That's crazy.
When I was done with my deliveries in the morning, I'd go home, sit there for 3 or 4 hours smoking until I had to go do pickups, and that was my entire day.
Yep.
And, so it was a sun up to sundown thing. I was smoking constantly.
Same.
But you had more than just, it wasn't like I'd break up a whole bunch of weed. I had weed there. I could put it in a pipe. I could roll in a joint. You had
I'm smoking joints by myself.
Yeah, but you have the fucking dabs and all these different aspects of you fucking you kids nowadays speak goddamn Chinese. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about with all these dabs and all that shit.
In the joints too, bro. Yep. Yeah, so I would get up in the morning and I'd roll my own cone, so I had this little mini bat. Yeah, and if I had that concentrate, I would throw it in there too. So I would smoke. I would smoke on the way to work, pretty much the whole joint. And then at first, when I wasn't so busy, because now I don't even have time to even go outside, really.
Yeah.
But shit, I was smoking all day, bro. Like you said, all day, all night. When I was smoking, shit, I'd probably go through. We were probably smoking 8 joints a day, 10 joints a day, and gram and a half joints, fatties, bro. But yeah, same. I did the same. I just was smoking constantly all day, all night. And go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So what did it look like for you quitting? What brought you to that decision, and what did it look like your process of quitting?
it was great because I save a lot of money now.
that's a bonus.
It was a ton. Oh, man, that's a lot of money smoking. Talk about an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
I genuinely loved it. So I was a little bitter at first, but I try not to let things upset me. I just don't like to waste energy being mad.
Yeah, absolutely.
People like
I
trip
fuck
out.
with that.
Yeah, people trip out on like how chill I am. They're like, bro, you don't get mad. I'm like, I try not to.
But what
I just don't let you get my energy. That's basically
absolutely
what it is. Like,
yeah. If you're gonna be positive and we could fuck with each other,
Fox with each other.
Fox with each other. But if you're gonna be negative, get that shit out of here.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that.
Yeah.
But what did the first of all, what brought you to that? I mean, obviously it was the money, but what was the final deciding factor?
Just to better mine and my wife's lives.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm just tired of scraping by in life.
That's awesome.
I work my ass off.
You sure as fuck do.
And it's like for almost nothing, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I lived that life for many years. I worked 2 jobs for fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
It's
draining,
too hard,
man. Yeah, it's way draining.
So what did the process look like for you quitting? Was it a slow and gradual thing, or did it just
No,
I'm
cold
done?
turkey, yeah.
And what'd you do with all your like paraphernalia and shit?
Still at my house. It's just like a collection kind of thing.
Stash this away for
yeah, it's just in my
sunny
game
day.
room, like kind of like on a shelf. It's just
Dude, that's crazy because when I quit, I had a huge collection of Pyrex and bongs and shit, and I gave it to my brother, and probably within 2 months, it was all lost, broken, or other.
No, I have some really nice pieces, so spent a lot of money on that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not just gonna give it to you. Like,
I mean,
we bought just recently, like last year, maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, I think it was last year, at the beginning of last year. The Marley family released a whole collection of dope shit, bro. And like the bong that we bought has like this gold, it's like a gold stripe through it.
yeah.
And it's not just like how people, like how they just kind of put a decal on a bong.
Mm-hmm.
This shit's like infused into it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fucking sick. And then, like you said, with the dab stuff, we bought this other rig that's part wood, part glass, and it all like, and there's gold, like all the accent shit's gold. It's fucking bad, dude.
Even if I was still smoking, I'd be really uncomfortable with the whole dab thing.
It's scary.
It looks like
It's
you're doing
intense.
crack and shit.
It's very crackish. That's for sure.
I see people doing that. I'm like, I feel really uncomfortable.
Back in the day, bro, I'm telling you, my cousin's the OG dabber. It was before dabs was a thing. This dude, so I would get these like, they were a little bigger than a golf ball. And then I had like these cookies, bro, that were like this big. And it was just straight hash, dude. And my cousin, he's the first one that showed me how to hot knife some shit. He had a electric stove with those stupid coils. So we just jammed 2 knives down in there and fucking.
We did that too with
Get them hot and shit. Yeah. So then later on, he started doing tile, and so he just would get like a little 2x2 tile or 3x3 tile, and then he kind of got smarter with it, like just smoke it on the go instead of having to like be in an oven. He would get those hookah coils. So he would light that coil. The hookah coal. He would put that coal on that tile, cut the bottom of like a 20-ounce bottle.
Fucking MacGyver smoker.
Bro, drop that hash on there, put that bottle, cover it. Because, like, when you hot knife, like, you kind of waste some smoke. Like, he would do it, like, he would get, like, a 2-liter bottle and, like, cut it, like, at the top so you have kind of, like, a funnel.
Yeah.
And that way, like, you wasted less.
Yeah.
But this way, bro, he'd milk he'd try to kill you, bro.
Yeah, I did that a few times.
You motherfucker, bro. So... But yeah,
It's-
that's
you're-
just
Well, your timing in this whole thing is really funny in the grand scheme of things because, you know, for my entire smoking career, it was illegal. It was medical was starting to be a thing when I quit, when I was starting to quit, and now everything becomes completely legal, and I've seen a pretty big drop off in people being like, "Yeah, I'm done."
yeah.
Like it's so weird. Like I think maybe looking at it that way, it's like the illegality of it was sort of an appealing thing. Like
I think yeah.
it was
I
like
think you're
something
right.
you could do on the down low, and
Feel a little dangerous.
fuck Johnny Law, I'm smoking marijuana.
For real. No, like if I had like, I don't know, I definitely would still if I could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and not saying that I couldn't, but I'm just thinking about the future now. And
Yeah. I will say that when I quit, I was bitter. I was mad. I didn't want to quit, but I also was like, okay, well, I need money. I need to have a better life.
I was in.
And I was so fucking lazy when I smoked. Like,
See,
all
and
I
I
ever
wasn't.
wanted to do was just sit on the couch, play games, and watch movies and smoke. That's all I wanted to do.
I mean, I love doing that too, but I wasn't a lazy smoker. Like,
I was so lazy.
people would trip out. They're like, so people were like, oh, let me get a sativa for the day and then an indica for the night. And I'm like, give me indica from the moment I wake up, bro. And people were like, how the fuck do you do
I didn't
that?
know the difference. I was like, give me weed.
Yeah. Well, that's how it was when back in the day.
Dude,
Now that it's legalized, there's all the hybrids, the indica sativas.
I had a friend who went to weed college, that motherfucker. Like, he knew everything about every weed. This kid, this is not a joke. He and me, so me, him, and our other friend had like an open door policy at each other's house. And so we all worked at Red Lobster together, and I'd go to sleep at night and fucking wake up in the morning smelling weed in my room. I'm like, I smell like weed.
Yeah.
I wake up and this dude is sitting on the couch in my room blowing weed into my face. And he's like, hey, it's like 6 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Let's fucking smoke this joint and go hiking.
funny.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smoke this joint and go back to sleep. What the fuck?
That's a waste, man.
No, it was good for me, man.
That's funny. Yeah, no, people were like, damn, dude, I don't know how you smoke and work. And I'm like,
I could always smoke and work. That was never an issue. It was
kind of
like
normalized me is what it did.
it was the adventure shit that people wanted to go do, and I was like, no. It's like it reminds me of people like getting super drunk at concerts. I'm like, you pay all this money
And then you don't remember shit.
and you don't remember anything. Like
Or get kicked out.
I had an employee in Santa Fe who worked under me, and that guy fucking every weekend, oh, we went and saw so-and-so XYZ, and I'm like, oh yeah, how was it? I don't know, I blacked out.
I don't remember. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, and how much did you pay for those tickets? I don't want to hear shit about you being broke and wanting a raise, you stupid dipshit.
real.
That's the most irresponsible shit ever.
For real. But yeah, no, like, my wife's a great wife, and she always like commends me, and she smoked just as much as me. We'd go through an ounce a week, like quick, probably like in 4 or 5 days, to be honest. But when I quit, she like quit too, and I'm like, dude, you don't have to quit,
Yeah.
because she needs it for her back. Like, her back's fucked up, and it's kind of the only thing that helps. And the opies are no good, and
That's
so
facts.
I'm like, I'd rather you just smoke weed. And she's like, well, I feel bad. And I'm like, dude, don't worry about me. Like, I'm not gonna fold just because you're over here smoking weed.
Right.
I got good like willpower, bro. Like,
Yep.
and so, yeah, she's always just like, dude, you're so dope for just cold turkey. And everyone's like, oh, you're gonna quit smoking? Like, are you just kind of like going to edibles? I'm like, that's not gonna do anything. That's just nah. And I just don't like edibles, to be honest. Like,
Oh, I never did either. I hated the body
that's
high.
a whole different ball game, dude.
I was a head high motherfucker. I needed
Yeah.
to feel it in my eyes.
Right. Same here. And so I smoked cigarettes for a long time too. Like,
So did I.
probably about 12
Same.
years, and I was smoking a pack a day, and I just
That was a lot more challenging for me. I actually
Really?
used weed to quit smoking cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
I substituted my cravings with I had a little one hitter that looked like a cigarette.
Oh, dope.
And so,
sneak a toke.
dude, I'm not joking. For about 4 years, at the end, I was every fucking day. Oh, I gotta quit smoking cigarettes. Like, it was to the point that I would take
Feel
a
like
drag,
shit,
and
bro.
I could feel it killing me. I was like, bro, I feel like I'm fucking dying. It fucking made my body heavy and shit. And I was like, this is not working. So finally I was like, here's my plan. Every time I get a craving in the van, I'm gonna fucking, I had that disguise because I needed it at work. That's when, you know, I was cigaretting it up the most.
Right.
So yeah, I would fucking take a hit every time I got a craving, and after like 2 weeks I was cool. I was done.
Yeah, so when me and Asha got together, she's like, can't believe, like, I'm just okay with you smoking cigarettes. She goes, that would be like the first deal breaker for me. She's like, I don't fuck with that shit. And she'd even like take a puff every now and then when I was smoking them. And then I said, look, I know you don't like it and I'm gonna quit, but like, don't force me to quit. I'll do it. Just let me do it on my own. And yeah, when I was in Denver, I was like, you know what, I'm done.
Nice.
Cold turkey. And people are like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't use no patch, no gum, nothing. I just...
And that was the point. That's why I brought this up, is because that's really fucking strong self-discipline.
It was hard, bro. That was the hardest shit.
It is hard.
I've ever had to
crazy.
do.
I mean,
I've in nicotine.
I probably haven't had a craving for maybe 5 years, but even up till about 5 years ago, I was you know, I'd see somebody driving by in a car and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Like,
yeah, that was my the hardest ones for me was the morning was a good one.
Oh yeah.
But the after food and driving, bro.
Yeah.
Those two.
Same.
But yeah, it's been damn near, what is 2024? It's been like fucking 9 years, and I still get cravings for them fucking things.
Yep. I quit in 2008, so, you know, it was probably 5-7 years ago that I finally haven't had a craving since. But it took a long time.
Yeah, it's hard. That was definitely, like you said, that was harder quitting nicotine than marijuana for sure.
Well, and I kind of got into the hookah as maybe a substitute to not sway myself and go back to it. And I wasn't smoking heavy, but dude, then I met Sarah at a hookah lounge, and yeah, that was our thing, you know. So
Right.
I fucking got heavy into it, but that's so easy to quit.
The fuck, yeah, I get sick, I get nauseous, I get all lightheaded, and I'm like, fuck, get this hose away from me, bro. Don't quit passing me that hose,
Gotta
bro.
ease into it, man. Yeah.
No more hooks.
No more hooks. Makes me sad. Makes Sarah sad because, I mean, I have a studio now for recording the podcast, but this was originally designed as our hookah lounge.
Yeah.
So maybe someday when my lungs heal, I'll be able to smoke again. But for now,
Does she still smoke it, or did she?
no.
Stop?
She's just kind of like Asha. She's like, I'm like, I don't want to feel. I'll feel bad. I don't want to fucking smoke without you. And I'm like, yeah, you can. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like I can't if
It
I
is
want
what
to.
it
So
is,
it's
yeah.
You know, yeah. I'm okay watching you smoke.
Right.
That's fine with me. But
Sure.
no, she hasn't since I haven't. So it's cool.
That's dope.
Well, I want to be respectful of your time, and we've gone way over. So I appreciate
brother.
you coming here. One more time, give your socials and the barber shop and everything.
Yep. Again, it's Eric Archuleta. The Instagram is barber_e. We're at Showtime Barbershop, man, out on the west side, like Coors, in between. What is it? Los Volcanes and Blue Water. Yeah, we're right there next to the Big Lots down there by West Mesa.
Way the fuck out there, but well worth the drive. Yeah, you get good
Thanks for having
conversation
me,
and
man.
great
Yeah,
haircuts.
I
So.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
brother.
man, appreciate you coming on the podcast. All right, brother. Well, thanks for
again,
coming,
brother.
All
Yeah,
right.
anytime.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
He had a Civic. The men in black were basically sitting like on the hood of his car. He had like this super secret job if you want it. So I ended up taking it. He didn't even know where he was. But put a bag over this motherfucker's head so he didn't know where he was going. He didn't know that's where he was, but he was at Area 51. And the guy was like, try to touch that. And he was like, no. And so when he went to like touch it, there was like a force field on it. Like anti-gravity, like recreate this thing, and it made him get divorced. Like that's how. It's pretty interesting to hear that dude.
So you're a barber?
Yeah, man.
He's the best barber.
I am the barber of town.